Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Daemonhunters, where shit just got real. Supreme Grandmaster Kaldor Drago is walking into a very, very well prepared trap, and it's all kind of our fault. And the only reason Brother Ector hasn't already slaughtered Inquisitor Vakir on the spot is because she's come up with a desperate plan to try to make things right, which involves banishing the soul of the captured Demon Prince Cadex and then conducting a ritual which will somehow, maybe, if we're really lucky, allow us to track his soul through the warp as it returns to its master deep within the Garden of Nurgle, and when we get there, maybe, just possibly, allow us to unfuck this colossal disaster that we have created.
Commander, once the Inquisitor begins this purgation ritual, there is no turning back. The Demon Prince Cadex will be banished back to the warp, and we will have to follow immediately if we have any hope to find our way into Nurgle's garden and warn Kaldor Drago of the trap that has been set for him. Our time is short, but you must also be confident that our strike force is prepared for the challenge that waits ahead of us. The decision is yours.
Meh. What's the worst that can happen? Actually, you might be surprised. The second you start this ritual, and it's going to take 30 days to complete, the game pretty much starts throwing everything at you. You're effectively on a soft enrage timer. There's no number displayed on screen saying get shit done before this point or it's game over, but what the game will start doing, notice I'm heading for a Noctilith Crown flowering event, the first and easily most dangerous of the 3 current Bloomspawn events that are active in the sector. Let me just get some repairs done, and then we'll continue on our way to this flowering event. Oh, and before we get there, 2 new Bloomspawns detected. Yes, the Bloomspawn events start coming at you way, way faster. I now have 5 separate Bloomspawn events active before I've dealt with the first one that popped up in the current Bloomspawn activity window, and they're all pretty bad. This is what's known in gaming as a soft enrage timer, distinct from a hard enrage timer, and to give you some examples of the 2 different types, I'm going to use a couple of bosses from the Naxxramas raid instance in World of Warcraft. Probably the most well-known example of a hard enrage timer in gaming was the Patchwork Abomination boss in the Naxxramas raid. If after a certain time limit had expired you had not killed him, he would basically go berserk and start doing like 300% damage, which would either one-shot kill your tanks or would drain the resources of your healers trying to keep the tanks up very, very quickly, and basically he would just kill everybody. That's a hard enrage timer. The last boss in Naxxramas, the Lich Kel'Thuzad, was a classic example of a soft enrage timer. Unlike the Patchwork boss, there was no condition where you had to kill him within this time limit or he would just kill everybody. It was a lot more subtle than that. During the course of the fight, while the majority of the raid were dealing with the Lich himself, additional monsters would spawn which couldn't really be killed and just had to be picked up and handled by a second tank, an off-tank. The thing is, the longer the fight went on, the more of these things would spawn, and eventually the off-tank would just get overwhelmed. Or the healers would get overwhelmed trying to keep the off-tank up, but one way or another, the off-tank was going to die, and then they would go for the healers, and then they'd go for and kill everybody else. So, there's no time limit on dealing with a soft enrage timer. It all depends on how good you are, how tough you are, how much resources you have, but eventually, you're going to get overwhelmed. And that's what the game is doing to us now.
The Inquisitor's strength yet holds. Brother Purifier, I require insight into the mission's next phase.
Vakir has begun a ritual of banishment. When it is at its apex, I will purge the demon, and the Inquisitor will attempt to maintain her psychic connection with its departing spirit. In theory, she may sense its trajectory past the veil. If we dare pursue that signal into the warp, we may find the garden and locate Drago before it's too late.
The odds of survival
The odds are irrelevant, Dominus. Only in death does duty end.
Yeah. There are now too many Bloomspawn events occurring for me to deal with all of them. Hell, there were already too many Bloomspawn events occurring for me to deal with all of them, but I could at least deal with most of them in each Bloomspawn event window, and now I can't even deal with half of them, and there are more and more of them coming thicker and faster every couple of days. I'm going to get overwhelmed. Pretty soon things get to the stage where you have almost nothing but wounded Marines to send into missions trying to keep a lid on things, and you just can't sustain this tempo of operations. Inquisitor Vakir, we need to get this shit done, and sooner would be much, much better than later.
The Edict writhes beneath this pressure. We cannot hold.
We must. The ritual is nearly complete.
Embrace the grandfather's wisdom, Carver. You see it? We are one.
And so forever we shall remain. Cadex Ilkarian of Systemonius, I give myself to you willingly. Take my spirit.
Vakir!
Whoa, wait, time out. This was never part of the plan. Inquisitor, what the fuck did you just do?
You were right to doubt me, Ektar. A demon's essence cannot be tracked past the veil, but mine is now bound to his. I will blaze a path for you to follow.
You sacrifice yourself, you are doomed to an eternity of torment.
I doomed myself the moment I set foot on this ship. Now, the Grandfather calls. I must answer. I am his.
What strength.
Follow me, Ektar, to the garden.
I hear you.
It was all a lie. She knew that we couldn't follow a demon's soul through the warp. The ritual was never going to work. But she knew we could follow hers.
Commander, the Brother Purifier has begun transmitting a signal to our astropaths. We must follow it at once.
We cannot let Vakir's sacrifice be in vain. We have to follow, no matter where it leads us.
Commander, we have pursued this signal for weeks. The edict strains, but the Brother Purifier appears far worse. The Edict's warp drives have completely stalled.
It is no matter. Our journey is at an end.
Data insufficient. Have we reached the garden?
No, but we are met by its gatekeeper.
What do you see?
We are drawn into the orbit of a transient domain. It radiates with the energy of a prime seed.
Credibility dubious.
There is little sense within the realms of chaos.
2 Reapers of the Bloom remained free of our pursuit. Why risk one against us now?
Cadex must have reached his master and given warning. They delay us to pursue more valuable prey.
Drago.
Commander, it is time to prove ourselves worthy of our name.
Well, we are the Hammer. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. This is Munificus. This is Munificus, Nurgle's gatekeeper, one of the 2 surviving Greater Prime Seed Demon Princes that we were trying to track down and kill before Cadex threw a spanner in the works, and he is definitely hard enough.
Analysis. We face the Reaper of the Tentorus strain, a greater chaos spawn possessing mighty powers of growth and mutation. We must find some way to counter its impressive healing capabilities.
So, you remember the first 3 Demon Princes that I killed? They did seem to be pretty easy, didn't they? And it wasn't just because I had taken so long to get to them that I had a massively overgeared squad of Marines. They were actually the 3 easiest, and just through luck rather than judgment, they were the ones that I ended up dealing with first.
This creature, it is Munificus?
Confirmed. Designation Chaos Spawn.
That is no chaos spawn I have ever encountered.
Analysis. No apparent defensive systems.
Is it possible this Reaper was somehow stillborn? Brothers, be wary as you approach.
Yeah, Munificus is no pushover in the way that the first 3 that I faced were. I mean, with the first 3 it was entirely possible to one-shot them if you played your cards right. If you stacked, for example, an Interceptor with a couple of Justicars to feed him action points, and then critted the mother-loving shit out of them, it was completely possible to one-shot kill. And when I say one-shot kill, I mean in a single turn before the Demon Prince could even fight back. You're not going to be doing that with Munificus. Even though he only has 54 health, and he can be stunned, he has an ability to heal back all of the damage that you do to him right after you do it to him. So unless I can do 54 damage in one shot, and I can't do that, he cannot die. So how the hell do you kill him? Well, he has 54 maximum health right now, but every time you score a crit on him, you get to destroy one of the target points listed over there on the left-hand side of the screen, and when that happens, his Unstable Mass passive ability kicks in, which removes any afflictions that he may be suffering from, but it also reduces his maximum health by 7. He then, of course, immediately heals back up to his new maximum health. But if you can keep stunning him and critting him, he will eventually reduce his maximum health, and I do mean eventually. This is not going to be over in one turn, but you can eventually reduce his maximum health down to a level where you can one-shot kill him before he has the opportunity to heal back all of the damage that you've done. This is not going to be a quick fight. So I start by using the Chaplain and the Paladin to work on clearing out some of the Bloom Spawn branches around him, and then I move Apothecary Han up to Stormbolter range, and I'm going to boost this with a Psybolt because Apothecary Han's Stormbolter does bonus stun damage. This guy starts with 6 stun points. A single Psybolt from Apothecary Han is going to reduce him to 2. Although I think it will probably be safer to instead finish off some of these Bloom Spawn branches, because these things do armor piercing ranged damage and I can do without that. So 1 down, and there are a couple of seeds around here that I could use to replenish willpower points. But let's take care of the Bloom Spawns. I'm going to have enough on my hands with the Chaos Spawn without having to worry about these as well. Go Gadget, Intercept the Storm. One more hit. That's two. Well, not the two, there are more. You can see another one over there in the distance at the top of the screen. But that's at least the two immediate Bloom Spawn branches cleared out. Now I can queue up a crit on Munificus, and we're definitely going for the +2 stun here. That's a no-brainer.
Is insufficient. The beast exhibits instantaneous regeneration.
Actually, maybe the +2 stun wasn't such a good idea. Maybe I should have hacked off one of his extremities and reduced his maximum health. Because now he gets to fight back. He knocks Paladin Fool into the abyss, and then he starts bitch slapping the shit out of everybody else, other than Intercept the Storm. Okay, I spoke too soon. Fortunately, he's functionally immune to afflictions. Unfortunately, there are still a lot of these Bloom Spawn branches around, and they do have quite a bit of range on them.
Complete cellular atrophication and renewal.
Yes, the beast has mutated from the bloom. We should divine its strengths more thoroughly.
Yeah, that's Hector saying, look, stop messing around and start hacking bits off. So, I'm definitely charging this up with a Psybolt. That is going to stun him.
Brothers, ready your blades and strike.
Some reaction fire going there, which isn't really going to do anything. He's already stunned and he's going to heal all the damage back. So, I do not want to shoot him again. I need to close in with a melee attack and take advantage of the stun. I do make a minor error of judgment here. Because remember, I haven't been researching these fights. I'm going in blind, not knowing what to expect, so as to enjoy the game spoiler-free. I saw -2 maximum hit points. I thought, yeah, that's what we're going for. Forgetting that if I hack off one of his limbs, it's -7 maximum hit points, which would have definitely been the better option. But we can easily stun him again with Apothecary Harn's Stormbolter. Chaplain Storm's up next. Unfortunately, we're all standing in an affliction field. Let's switch to Intercept the Storm, since he doesn't have to walk through any hazards to get there, and we'll stack another crit.
Emperor, guide my hand.
And this time, rather than going for the +2 stun, we're just going to hack something off. So we're going to disable its mucus launcher. I think that's what that does.
Update.
Well, it does a number of
The limb
things.
has transformed into pure bloom essence.
Because once the limb's been hacked off, it transforms into a bloom essence, which is a fancy way of saying a hazard zone on the ground where the thing got cut off. And then, of course, jumps away and does more nasty shit. But his maximum health is now down to 45 hit points. He does, of course, keep knocking everybody off into the abyss. And, yeah, this thing needs to be killed. They're easy to kill, and you do need to kill them, because if you don't, pretty soon the entire battlefield is going to end up covered in toxins, but it costs an action point to kill them, and you need to be spending the action points on Munificus himself. I'm going to teleport him, and we're just going to have to hit him. Now fortunately this will be enough to stun him again. And that's what you need to do in order to win the fight. Stun him, hack off an extremity, clear up the bloom essence dropped by the extremity, and then, well, just keep doing that over and over and over until his maximum health's been reduced to an amount that you can actually do in a single hit. Simple in theory, difficult in practice, because every time you lop off an extremity, by critting him, he jumps away and leaves a toxin cloud behind him, which you have to clear up. Now you might be thinking, well, if you keep lopping off his extremities, you're reducing the offensive options that he has against you, and against anything other than a Chaos Spawn. That would be true, but he is a Chaos Spawn. So every time you hit him, he just mutates and gains a new extremity. Which is good, because it means you're never going to run out of things to lop off and use to reduce his maximum hit points. But it's bad, because this guy hits like a truck. Chaplain storms up. Let's take care of that. I'm not even sure what it was, but he could kill it, so it got killed. Yeah, these lesser bloom spawn thingies. There are a lot of other things to worry about in this fight other than the boss himself. And you kind of do have to worry about them, because if you just ignore them, they're going to end up chipping away at your health. And even with an apothecary along, I mean, he doesn't have an unlimited number of willpower points available to heal everybody. And he is also my major source of stun points here, because he's got that Storm Bolter that does 2 stun on a regular hit, and I think 5 or 4 stun with a Psybolt. And spending willpower on Psybolts means that I'm not going to have a lot of willpower left over to heal up the damage that this guy and everything else on the battlefield is doing. Oh, what's he up to now? Is he going for Paladin Thule again? I think he is. Well, I mean, you know, that's kind of a oh no, he's inflicted vulnerability on him. He's now taken +2 damage from everything. Yeah. And he's pinned, which means he's just lost an action point. I mean, you know, it's better that they're going for Paladin Fool rather than the more squishy members of the team, I suppose, but that's not really much of a blessing. And oh, I forgot about the Warp Surge. Oh no! Fresh bloom spawn everywhere. Just when I hadn't even finished clearing everything up, there's still a bloom spawn branch standing right behind Interceptor Storm, but now there's lesser bloom spawn all over the place as well. Oh, this is terrible. This is not good. Paladin Thule is close enough to actually hit the boss, but I need to get him purged. So there goes the Medicaid Servo Skull from Apothecary Harm. That's purified him of his afflictions. And he does, of course, also have the ability to stack crits. He has the Hammer Hand ability. And now we can actually reach the boss and hit him with that Hammer Hand ability. So we're going to go ahead and do that. He's down to 38 maximum hit points. Right. We'll disable Projectile Pus, I suppose. It's as good a choice as anything. There goes the Bloom Essence, and Paladin Fool is now played. And the boss jumps away again. If he jumped towards the rest of the squad, that would have been useful, but of course he doesn't. Fantastic. Okay, well, we'll kill Bloom Essence, because they need to be killed. And his resistances allowed him to resist whatever affliction that was. There's a lot of cleaning up needs to be done over here thanks to that Warp Surge. I mean, that may have been the worst possible Warp Surge I could have had. Chaplain Storm, even a Force Strike isn't going to kill that thing. Oh wait, no, he managed to get a crit. Instant death. Dodged a bullet on that one. We've got 1 action point left. This is a Bloom Spawn branch. Those things are really nasty. The Force Strike won't be enough to kill it, but it will reduce it to 4 hit points, which means somebody else should be able to kill it. Like Apothecary Harm, for example. No need to expend the willpower point of the Psybolt, we just shoot it, and it's going to die. Right. Yeah, I had to reload, of course, because I've been relying very heavily on his stun-boosted Storm Bolter. So, Intercept the Storm. Start doing some cleanup work. We are definitely going to go for a teleport strike here, and yes, I'm going to warp charge it. 1 down. With his 2 remaining action points, he should be able to kill it. I mean, this is Intercept the Storm we're talking about. This guy takes no prisoners. And yeah, Paladin Fool is played. Not good. So he's going to be taking 2 or 3 damage every turn, unless we can purge that affliction. What's the boss up to this time? Is he going for the Paladin? He is. Well, that's what the Paladin's for. Now what's he doing? Doesn't appear to be doing anything. Oh, wait, no, yeah, the Bloom Spawn branches. And Apothecary Harm is now weakened, so he's doing less damage. Then again, I'm not really relying on him for damage, I'm relying on him for stacking stun, and that's still going to happen regardless of his actual damage output. So, Intercept the Storm. Can move him over there and still have 2 action points left, and that should get him to within teleport range.
Yes, sir.
So we'll do that. And yep, that's no problem. So we'll do that. And we may as well go for another crit. And then hack something else off. Disable his bash, I suppose.
The Reaper appears unable to regenerate its limbs.
You hear that, brothers? Press the advantage. Destroy this monster.
Huh. Oh, that wasn't good. It keeps knocking everybody off the edge and stacking damage on them every time it jumps away. However, appears to be unable to regenerate its limbs. I think this may be good news. Or is it? Because if it's run out of things for me to lop off, how am I going to reduce its maximum hit points? Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, they are destroyed. It has a needler. Okay, we'll lop that off. Again, it dropped the blue essence. Again, it's going to jump away. And now it's gaining additional random mutations. Alright. It's jumping to safety again, but what's its maximum hit points now? Because I think I've just lopped off the last thing that I can. Oh man, look at the amount of toxin around here. I think we're now approaching the stage where I basically need to start pressing the advantage. Let's go for another stun. Apothecary harm. Yes. Shoot it once. That won't be enough to stun it by itself. I mean, it heals all of the damage back, obviously. But another shot, and we won't need to sidebolt it this time, will stun him. Now we need to get somebody over there and smack it in melee. Yeah, no, don't shoot it. Don't shoot it. Run over to it and hit it. Oh wait, you don't have enough action points to do that. The chaplain probably does though. I'm a little concerned that there are no more things for me to lop off. How am I going to... Oh wait, no, if I can get a crit. And I will get a crit. There we go. It does still have a couple of limbs that I can hack off, and unfortunately I'm kind of not really thinking this through. I'm too focused on the minus maximum hit points. So I go for the -2, when if I'd hacked off the limb it would have been -7. Of course then I would have had to deal with another blue essence over here, which I'm really ill-placed to do. But we're getting there. Unfortunately, look at all of the mess that I have to clear up around here. And there would have been more over there if I had hacked the limb off. I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses here. Okay, I am. This stuff needs to be cleaned up. Intercept the Storm is hurt. And if I don't kill all this stuff around him, it is going to inflict severe damage on him in the next turn. So, I managed to take out one Bloomspawn branch, and then he's out of action points. Paladin Fool, who is still plagued, of course, which is not good. Kill this thing. And I think that's about it. Yep, and now it's... Oh no, it's the Warp Surge again. Well, first it's the boss. So what's he going to do? Yeah, he knocks the chaplain over and he goes for Apothecary Harm. And yeah, he's hitting kind of hard. And he keeps hitting him. No, stop that. Oh, and then he tail swipes the chaplain. And then we get the Warp Surge. No, not yet. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. All of this ranged damage on Intercept the Storm. Ow. Stop that. I mean, it could have been worse. I did take down one of the Bloomspawn branches. Paladin Fool resists the affliction from that. And here's the Warp Surge. And it is... Bloomspawn Prison, which is effectively stunned and immobilized Paladin Fool. Okay, that's not terrible, because he's really too far away to do anything other than clean up all of that extra stuff over on the left-hand side of the battlefield. Except he can't do any of that while he's immobilized and stunned in the prison. Now I could run Intercept the Storm over there and do that, but that would probably use up all of Intercept the Storm's action points. And then he would still be standing right next to Paladin Fool with a whole bunch of Bloomspawn branches, and yeah, that's... We're going to heal him up. Because he's perilously low on health, and unlike everybody else in the squad, he doesn't have a lot of bonus, well, he doesn't have any bonus armor. So there's the Endurance Biomancy, which gives him bonus resistances and purges him of any afflictions, as well as a little heal. Let's stack some more stun. Go on, Apothecary. He's down to 15 maximum health. No, don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. If you shoot him now, that will just clear the stun and do damage that he will immediately heal back. I didn't even need to reload, he's stunned, I just need to hit him. I do keep making these minor errors, going for the -2 maximum hit points instead of lopping a limb off and getting -7 maximum hit points, which would admittedly also create the blue essence, which I then need to clear up. But, you know, it's little errors like this that don't matter individually, but over the course of a long attrition fight like this, they start to stack up. Right. Hit him. And the only thing I can go for now is -2 maximum hit points because I've basically hacked off all of his limbs. He's now down to 13, which is still too much for me to do in one turn. So I'll just have to keep hitting him. Yeah, another mistake. There's no point in expending willpower on 4 strikes unless that 4th strike is going to kill him, because unless you can stun him, he's just going to heal that damage back. Little errors like this that are potentially going to end up costing me this fight. Although in my defense, again, I do have to remind you, I didn't research this fight, I went in cold, I didn't want any spoilers. But I am definitely not thinking this through properly. Right. Yeah, Paladin Fool. Inside of Blue Storm can't do anything, so now what's he going to do? Because I think I can probably end this fight next turn. Ooh, that was bad. He's going for Apothecary Heart. That was a big hit. Oh shit, that was another big hit. Oh, he just killed Apothecary Harm. Well, he didn't kill him, I hope. And he bitch slapped Interceptor Storm in the middle of next week. But that's a critical wound on Apothecary Harm. Oh no, I might be about to lose Interceptor Storm as well. Okay, no, he is still alive. Right. I'm going to have to do Emperor's Will. Because I wasted all of that willpower doing 4 strikes that weren't actually going to kill anybody. So Emperor's Will transfers willpower from the Chaplain to the Interceptor. Ah, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I did the willpower transfer so we could get a Hammerhand crit off and, you know, get a crit. But this guy tail swipes anybody who attacks him from behind, which I of course completely forgot about. The problem is I can't attack him from the front because he's standing on the corner of a precipice. Okay, shit. Can the Chaplain maybe do something here? Invocation of Focus might be a good idea. Oh, the Medicae Servo Skull, yes, definitely a good idea. Let's heal up the Interceptor because he is basically a one-shot kill. And I don't know if you can do that tail swipe more than once a turn. If I move to there and then attack from here, please be enough. Or maybe I should do that. No. Yeah, we're going to have to go. Trying to come in from the side. Horse Strike won't kill it. There's no point in expending the willpower. I lost the opportunity to get the Hammerhand crit off because of the tail swipe. Come on. Come on, stun this thing. Oh, doesn't get the tail swipe. This is good. He's now vulnerable. One more hit and he will be stunned. But I don't have anybody with any action points left. No, I do. The Chaplain can hit him again. Right. Yes, that'll do. I mean, again, it should have been incapacitate a limb. But, oh shit, he knocked the Interceptor off into the abyss. Oh, he survived. I mean, he took some damage, but he survived. That cleave looks really nasty. He's chopping strips out of the... Oh shit! The cleave hit Interceptor Storm. Is he down? Is he down? The Chaplain's barely standing. Oh, and now he's vulnerable. He's going to take increased melee damage. I think Interceptor Storm is down as well as Apothecary Harn. He is. Oh my god. I mean, they're not dead, but they are now critically wounded. You can put wounded Marines back into fights. You just can't put critically wounded Marines back into fights. Shit. Oh, this is bad. Right, can I hit you with Fury of the Ancients from there? I can. If I warp charge it, will it kill you? It will. And we're done. But at what
Undying
cost?
was an unworthy epithet. Well done, Commander.
Yeah, it wasn't well done though, was it, Hector? I mean, we did it. But I've got a critically wounded Interceptor Storm and Apothecary Harm. I mean, I could have save scummed it and gone back and redone it, knowing what I know after having actually seen the fight for the first time, but no, I will stand by the consequences of my actions. Unfortunately, those consequences are going to have severe repercussions. Because you can put wounded Marines into missions, it's not ideal, but you can do it. But you cannot put critically wounded Marines into missions. And as soon as I hit that confirm button, the game's going to tell me this is it. This is the first time the game has actually... This is how serious things just got. This is the first time the game has actually told me to save my progress. Because this is it. The final mission. And I have to do it without Apothecary Harm, which isn't ideal, but I have to do it without Interceptor Storm, which is a fucking disaster.
Hear me. Hear me. Grandmaster, hear me.
Brother, I hear you.
Supreme Grandmaster, we are near. I sense your spirit within the garden.
The hour must indeed be dark if you have conspired to reach me here.
Forgive us, my lord, the cost was great. You are walking into a trap. A massive host of Nurgle approaches your position.
This maze confuses my senses. The Bloom's power here is overwhelming. Yet I cannot afford to withdraw. The stench of these roots are plague. My cursed life is a small price to wager against ending this foul affliction.
Then we will fight for you, Grandmaster.
A great sacrifice must not go unheeded. Very well. I will take 8 volunteers, Hector. 4 shall join me to face the foulness within. 4 will hold this gate against the approaching horde until we can complete the deed.
So few.
Each of my brothers is an army unto himself, a mighty shield against the coming darkness. I cannot deprive the Imperium of its most valuable warriors for the trials that yet lay ahead.
Your will be done. We are the Hammer.
That may be so, Brother Hector. I cannot help but feel, however, that the hammer would be hitting a little bit harder if Interceptor Storm was holding one end of it. However, I fucked up. I have to own it. Which means I now have to do the final mission of Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Daemonhunters without the principal source of my damage, Brother Interceptor Storm, and also Apothecary Harm, but honestly nobody really cares about him. Shit. All of that coming up in the next episode. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this one, and as always, be pure, be vigilant, behave.